Hi, this is a video for me and anyone who really wants to try to understand where I'm coming from on some things. Well, as I was listening to Replicant Fish, and he was saying some stuff that, I've been listening to him for quite a while, actually. And he was saying some stuff that just really particularly made me think about life and how I've been doing things and and basically came down to, well, where you're seeking your validation from. And I had really not thought I was seeking validation from women. And then again, I'm come to find out, actually I was. And that really doesn't work out very well for me. And as I have seen that, it doesn't work out very well for most guys. Thing about it is, it's when you're breaking out of that mentality. And I didn't think I'd be using a Matrix reference, but here you go. Neo had to be ready to break out of the Matrix, so to speak. And so that's why they didn't go get 1,000,000 people out and unplug them in this, that, and the other. They went and found that particular guy, Neo, because he was ready to get out of the Matrix, himself. He was seeing things that made him say, there's something really funky going on here. Now, for any guy that's been through the ringer a couple of times, or even more than a couple of times, you start to say, well, am I really, what is the point of this woman chasing thing? You've been programmed to think that chasing the woman and getting validation from the woman is a good thing. And it's basically indoctrination. Now, you have to procreate, and the babies have to be made and things like that, or society is going to fall apart. But in a real sense, it's like the woman's priority is the kids. The woman's priority is herself, even before the kids. And the man comes last on the list, even behind her parents, her family, even your parents, you're just the last one on the list, the last one, the last person she really feels like she has to listen to. And it may not seem that way at first, and of course there's a reason for that. But it gets to be that way in the end, or the end of the relationship. She's ready to kick you out, boot you out the door. She's messing around with Javier. Has really got no particular reason to be giving you any kind of high status at all. Even though you did buy her a house and buy her a car and all that sort of stuff, you'd say you bought it for her because you don't get to keep it in the end. You're just an awfully generous patsy, who fell for the bull crap. Now, yeah, there are folks that say, well, of course, not every woman's like that. There are people that have been married for 50 years, blah, 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 blah. Which is true. But if they've been married for 50 years, they got married a while back. And the particular program back then was, uh, get married to this guy. It's still for provision, protection, and, financial support and all that sort of stuff. But staying married was a thing that was normal to do then. Um, and now that is really not the case. Whereas all these divorces are initiated by women, and they basically scavenge your resources, like so many alien movies you see that came in, scavenged your resources while putting on an elaborate ruse, and they're off to conquer the next colony world man, and as I look out and see, I see these couples walking around. They seem happy, this, that, and the other, I was sitting in a restaurant. I saw a woman sitting with a guy. And I said, well, she captured her guy and she's now working her program. Right behind them, I saw a woman sitting by herself. And I was like, okay, well, she's on the hunt, on the prowl. She's waiting for her next unsuspecting wildebeest, so to speak, to come casually walking by, not noticing that there's an awfully terrible predator, just lurking in the grass over there. So, and yeah, as she spies out and stalks her wildebeest, the man, it's like, okay, well, the wildebeest needs to have this amount of money. They need to have this sort of job, this sort of status, all these different things that he really needs to have, and now he's gonna be nice, tasty looking prey there. So they're either got their prey, their wildebeest, their man, and they're sitting there working on them, chewing those bones down, so to speak, or they're on the hunt for one. And if you really understand the man as being the prize, because if you really think about it, guys, dudes, I'm talking to dudes. If you really understand, the woman doesn't really add anything to this situation, to the occasion. She doesn't bring anything to the table but coochie, her physical presence. And she may be loyal for a while if it suits her, and then again she may just not be. But it's still all about just getting that those provisions, that security, that financial whatever. And the guy, as he's he has magical love songs going through his head, and thinking about simp movies and things like that. He can and will easily fall in love. And the woman is really counting on that sort of thing. You're finding happiness within yourself. You don't really need a woman to for you to be happy, to make you happy. You should really be happy on your own. And getting with a woman is not going to make you happy. The physicality, the physicalness of being with a woman is a wonderful thing. But if you can really get that sort of thing from, let's just say, and you can actually just pay for it. It's a terrible way to think about things, but for guys, it can wind up just being a mental thing of thinking you have to be with the woman. Oh, you got to touch him, this, that, and the other. Biologically true, good for your mental health. But is it good for your pocketbook? Is it good for your overall mental health? You should just be with someone you can be with for a while for that night, and say, kind of throw them back in the pond, so to speak. And say pump and dump is, I don't really like that terminology, but it's pretty apt for the way things are. But it's not a hating thing on the woman. It's well, you probably better just be careful and be you.